The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.
Thursday pod.
Oh, hey-oh. Right, okay.
Oh, I had something interesting. I did. What was it? Let me just find it.
What was interesting?
I sent it to myself. It was that interesting.
Is it the Indian story that we never got to?
Yeah, what was that?
Well, I said pretty much the whole story, I think.
Someone was homeless. They lived at the cricket.
He lived in the...
Selling sweets at the cricket in Mumbai.
Certainly, I wouldn't be buying those sweets, that's for sure.
And one of the
No way, Jose.
coaches saw him, and the coach, this particular coach that saw him, had tried to do exactly the same thing, but never made it as a player.
Never made it as a player.
But he saw something in the kid that he felt that he had been through as well. Because he's a good...
Right.
He was a left-hand batsman, I'm pretty sure, from memory. I haven't got it in front of me.
And so is this
And now
guy
he's playing
in Australia?
in Australia,
He's
in
Australia
Perth.
too. Oh, wow.
His name's Suse Jaiswal.
Okay, I'll keep an eye for him over the summer.
He's 22 years old,
Good story.
and he's now going to be, well, he's out of
A
poverty.
little bit of Slumdog Millionaire going on there.
Yeah, that was the headline, Slumdog.
Oh, there you go.
something.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Millionaire, probably.
But the other thing I saw that was quicker, that was interesting. Oh, here it is. Okay, I don't know if I send things to me. Oh, it's a Lifeline story. Like,
Yeah.
you know one of those shops? What are they called? Lifeline.
Lifeline, yeah.
Lifeline store. This guy in Sydney walked into a Mossman Lifeline store.
Like an op shop.
An op shop.
Gotcha.
And he saw two photos in frames that he'd lost. And now he'd lost...
What do you mean he'd lost?
Well, when he moved house in 1992, some of the stuff... the same things happen to me when you move house. Sometimes you just lose stuff. You don't know where
Yeah.
it goes. And he lost a couple of framed pictures. One was of his wife back in where she's Australian, but they must have went back to Italy to visit her heritage. One's in Italy, his wife, with her family, and the other one's him at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Anyway, he lost them in 1994. Fast forward 2024, he walked in 30 years later to this op shop. He actually walked into it and saw the pictures that he'd lost for sale in the op shop 30 years later.
That's where the bloody hell have they been?
I don't know, but how weird is that? The pictures the frames aren't anything special, and the pictures aren't anything special.
So what?
Did he buy them?
What are the chances?
And we got them back. So I don't know.
For free?
Yeah, I don't know. He said, walked into a store at Mossman, discovered to his absolute disbelief that these two pictures were on the floor for sale. One is of my wife standing in the backyard of my late mother's house.
Ah, righto. So those
And
are
the
pictures
other-
of them.
Yeah, he's in the photo, and the other one's of him at the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Who would...
We were married in 1989, and we lost
so
these two
confusing.
pictures when we moved houses in 1994. They lost them 30 years ago, and then they turned up at this op shop.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's
You know, if
amazing.
who was nicking them, or if they did nick them, or just found them and then selling random photos of a random person in front of the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
And they're not
sense.
even nice frames. They're not
Strange.
just those wooden frames.
Slightly off topic, but
Yep.
there was a similar, I guess. There was one of those guys who runs like a pawn shop in America. You know, those sort of same
Oh, yeah,
op
yeah.
shoppy. You go
Op
in
shops.
there and you sell them your stuff. Anyway, it was a prank, but they
Oh.
try to sell him his own stuff. So like,
I
he'd
like
be,
that.
yeah.
Oh.
So he'd be like, well, you guys, so basically pulls out a bag and give him a watch and be like, I got this watch I'd like to sell you. And he'd be like, oh my God, where'd you get this from? This is a nice watch. I got the exact same one at home. It's worth a fortune. And then like, as the skit's going on, it's more obvious the stuff that's coming out. It's like,
Photo of him.
well, the thing that got him is like, it was a like a car club that he was part of in '94, and they had a jacket. And he's like, I got this car club jacket. So it would have only been like 10 of them made. And I ended up getting his gun. And it turned into this whole ordeal.
How did they get his stuff to do the prank?
Someone at the shop was in on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a good one
That's funny.
yesterday that made me laugh. I was like, oh, that's actually really funny. It's like you get someone that's sitting on a wooden chair, like on a park bench, chair or whatever, but, you know, with timber slats, if the chair's made of slats, and then someone's sitting there by themselves. Someone just comes up and sits at the other end of the chair next to them, and while they're there, they pull out a wet paint sign that they put in the middle.
Sounds like a Mr. Bean thing.
And then
Yeah.
they jump up, and they've already previously covered their whole clothes with horizontal paint. They jump up and go, "Oh, what the hell? What the hell? I've just seen it." And then the person who was sitting there they can't see their back.
Yeah.
So they just assume that they've sat there as well.
That's pretty funny.
I still like the one on the golf course where when the guy's about to tee off, they go and clip the snake on the back of his.
I've seen heaps of those on Instagram
I've
at
seen
the
them.
I've
moment.
never actually done it. I would love to see if it actually works.
I'd be that guy. I'd be freaking out.
And they're running away from it, and the snake's attached to them.
Even the air horn one that they do with people, like random people, they'd walk up about to tee off and then they go.
Wouldn't it?
You'd hate that, eh?
It could go one of two ways.
Yes.
Get really
It's
angry.
hilarious, or you get smashed with a forearm.
Anyway, 13 24 10. Give us a call. What's your favourite prank? We'll take your calls after this.
The Ash, Lutzi and Susie O'Neill podcast.